Infrastructure Committee meeting on Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 at 5:20 to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Alderman Fleury.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Bowden. Present. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Downeyworth.
Present.
You have the floor, man.
Thank you, sir. Okay, item B, approval of minutes. Can I get a first and a second motion to approve the minutes of the January 21st, 2025 Public Works and Infrastructure Committee meeting?
So move. Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Item C, audience time. Is there anyone here that would like to address the committee from the audience? Going once, going twice? Okay. On to old business. There is no old business, so we'll move on to new business. Item A, a resolution approving the award of the fiscal 2025 road program number 2 to Peter Baker and Sons for a not to exceed amount of $2,461,197.65. Can I get a first and a second?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions to this? The list of roads is attached. We've talked about them. I think everybody got information about it in their briefing. Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Fleury.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Bowden.
Aye.
Alderman Downeyworth.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. On to item B, a resolution approving the award of the fiscal 2025 sidewalk program number 2 to D-Land Construction LLC for a not to exceed amount of $1,688,237.50. Can I get a first and a second?
First.
I'll second.
Thank you. Are there any questions to this? There's a list of the sidewalks in there. We've talked about it. We saw it at our briefing. Anybody? Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Fleury.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Bowden.
Aye.
Alderman Downeyworth.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. On to item C, a resolution approving the expenditure of funds for ceiling tile replacement at Public Works by Bowler Construction for a not-to-exceed amount of $55,790. Can I get a first and a second on this?
So move.
I second.
Thank you. So Public Works, I don't know how many of you have been over there recently, but their ceiling tiles look pretty sad in some places, and they have replaced their HVAC system, and now that's not working as well as it should because the ceiling tiles are missing in some places or damaged. So this is work that really needs to be done in order for everything to work efficiently, plus it's kind of sad looking the way it is. So anybody have any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Fleury.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Bowden.
Aye.
Alderman Downeyworth.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Great, thank you very much. Item D, an ordinance approving to dispose of various surplus equipment through Obanoff Auction Services Incorporated. Can I get a first and a second?
First. Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is, I believe, for those trailers we had pictures of a month or so ago that were just in
correct.
horrible shape. So that's what we're disposing of with their rotted frames. Any questions about that? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Fleury.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Bowden.
Aye.
Alderman Downeyworth.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Great, thank you. Item E, a resolution approving to utilize the services of Ballard Marine Construction for the chemical line nozzle replacement per section 2-458, subsection I-5, a high degree of skill for an amount of $53,000. Can I get a first and a second on this?
I so move.
Second.
Thank you. This is the chemical nozzle line that's about a mile out in the lake. It's something only a few companies do. A dive team will go out about a mile into Lake Michigan to replace the chlorine spray nozzles at the intake crib. So anybody have any questions about that?
I have a question, just out of curiosity.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. When's the last time this issue was addressed?
He's coming to speak on it right now.
Thank you.
Good evening. So the last time it was, last year we looked into the chlorine line itself, but there's spray nozzles out where the intake cribs are, there's 3 intake cribs where the water comes in. So those spray nozzles are right where the water is coming in, where the grading is. And those spray nozzles, last year the divers took a couple of them off, and they're real small, so they're getting plugged up. So we purchased them, but we purchased the spray nozzles, but we needed somebody to install them because we don't have divers. And I know the fire department has divers, but they, not to do that, so, yeah.
We're better off hiring someone that's
Yes,
approved.
professionals.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Donowitz.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone. So now we're on to reports and communications, and we're going to have a presentation from Rachel Canton from Planning and Zoning for the 2024 Yearly Sustainability Report. And I'd like to encourage everyone to hold their questions to the end if possible, just to make the process go a little smoother. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you. We have a couple slides, so I'll give them a moment to get those up on the screen. But thank you guys for having me and letting me speak tonight. I am with Planning and Zoning, as you all know, but I'm also a part of the Waukegan Green Team to share a little bit about what we have done sustainability-wise over this last year. So for a little bit of context, in 2021, the city unanimously passed the Sustainability Plan. This plan was designed to be a living, breathing document that changes and grows as our city changes and grows. And since that document has been put in place, we haven't had a dedicated staff person working on any of those sustainability efforts. Luckily, we have awesome staff here that have worked to try and incorporate that into their different departments. But the green team was kind of formed to help bridge those kind of disconnected projects and get them connected and kind of spur on new projects and new growth with that. So the green team is a volunteer group of staff people. We don't get paid overtime for this. We just do it because we care. So it's been a really great opportunity to work with the other departments on this effort. Since I don't have my slides up yet, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what sustainability is and what it kind of means to the city of Waukegan. So my personal favorite definition of sustainability is the integration of environmental health, social equity, and economic vitality in order to create thriving, healthy, diverse, and resilient communities for this generation and generations to come. So this quote is personally my favorite. It kind of encapsulates something called the 3 Ps. You might have heard of this before. It's profit, planet, and people. So this is the idea that sustainability is not just about the environment, but it's also about our communities and our bottom line. So that's something that, as the Green Team, we've kind of taken into consideration as we've worked over this last year. Our sustainability report encompasses progress over the last year, as well as some years prior. So the sustainability plan called for us to report on years previous. We unfortunately didn't have the capacity without staff people or without the green team to make those reports. So we're kind of catching up with this one. So we're including some years prior as well. The sustainability report is now available to view on the city's website. If you go to waukeganil.gov and you just type into the search bar environment sustainability, you'll get to our page. There's a link that lets you click on it and view it as a PDF. You all received a copy of the draft back in January, so this is an updated version. We took public comment for about a month and incorporated all those comments into the final report. So you can go ahead, take a look at that. I'll also send that out probably tomorrow morning to you all as well. A couple of highlights that I wanted to share from this past year as well as some years prior. The first one being our Bird City designation. This actually came before you guys a couple weeks back to renew our designation. So we were actually one of the very first cities in Illinois to become a bird city, which is a really awesome accomplishment. It's renewed every 3 years. So I just wanted to highlight that one. Another one I wanted to highlight was our switch to a digital permit system. So this doesn't necessarily seem like a big deal, but it actually saves us approximately 24,000 sheets of paper every single year. Average permit contains about 10 pages of paper, and with upwards of 2,000 permits issued every year, it's a lot of paper that we've saved through this digital permit system. We still have some physical documents come in. We have people who have trouble accessing internet or don't have a computer at home, so they bring in their documents to the first floor window, and they're able to get it uploaded into the system with them, help them with that permit. But we're generally saving about 24,000 sheets of paper because of this switch. So we're diverting our waste, being a little bit more sustainable, and also being pretty friendly to our customers by making things easier for them to track, easier for them to pay, and going through that. So with our slides, if you guys want to skip over to slide 11, that's the slide that I'm currently on. Thank you. So our next one is municipal electrical aggregation. We joined the Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative, or NIMEC, back in 2022. If you want to go back to the previous slide. Thank you. So this kind of collaborative group that we joined allowed us to get stagnant electrical rates as opposed to those floating ComEd rates. So you can see on this graph, the floating ComEd rates go up and down, and sometimes there's a better deal with the ComEd rates, but generally speaking, that NIMEC consistent rate has saved us, since May 2022, $300,000. So this savings have been a really great impact financially, but it's also been a really good savings environmentally. So because of this collaborative through NIMEC, we've been able to source 100% of our energy through green energy sources, thinking about solar, geothermal, wind, things like that. That's where we're able to get our energy now, as opposed to some of those brown sources like fossil fuels and gas. So the green energy switch has actually been the equivalent of, you'll see it up on the screen, 9 million pounds of coal burned. So because of this switch over the last 3 years, we've saved 9 million pounds of coal. It's also the equivalent of about almost 2,000 gasoline-powered cars being driven and 1,700 homes being powered electricity-wise for 3 years. So this has been a really great environmental impact as well as a great financial change for us as well. The next slide, we continue to track solar developments. This is something that we've been doing for a couple years now through that permit portal system. We are actually a Soul Smart community, which kind of helps with this. So Soul Smart is a designation that we received. We received the Soul Smart Gold designation, which at the time was the highest designation. Just last year, the year before, they upgraded and have a platinum rating now, so we're gonna work towards achieving that next. But that Soul Smart designation basically means that we're easy to install solar in. So Waukegan is friendly towards solar. It's easy to get permits. It's fast to get permits. And our zoning language removed obstacles towards solar development. So it's really easy to get those solar developments in the city. Generally speaking, we've seen an upward trend in solar developments. Last year, we had about 170 solar developments as of mid-December. In our next slide, I want to talk a little bit about lead service line replacement. You guys have seen a lot of contracts come before you for approval for lead service line replacements. These are a really big deal towards our water quality. You'll see those little symbols that have been on the screen up in that top corner. Those are indicating what action areas of the sustainability plan these achievements, these goals, these progress that we've made kind of apply to. So thinking about water quality is one of these things that lead service line really applies to. Our lead service line, we've done about 650 replacements to date, and we have a survey that's available. You've probably heard us talk all about this survey. Please keep pushing it towards your constituents. It is really important for us to help identify areas that have lead service lines so we continue doing those replacements. We've done a lot of public outreach through this, promoting this water quality and these infrastructure upgrades through mailers, social media posts, presentations at the township, at City Hall, as well as open houses and more. Again, this is something that we're continuing to bring contracts before you, continue to bring grant applications, things like that. So we've appreciated your support on working on this one. Our next slide is our South Lakefront Brownfield project. This is a project that I've personally been working closely with over the last couple of years. The city received a $400,000 US EPA Brownfield grant a couple years back. We hired a contractor or an environmental consultant in 2023. You guys saw that contract back in November 23. They have been working with us to test the soil, contract a company to dig out the contaminated soil, and do all of our reporting, working with EPA and IEPA on this. So our cleanup has concluded. This is a really exciting project that we can say that our cleanup is done. We're just waiting on our final reports now. So we've sent all our documentation to IEPA. We're just waiting to hear back now. Our next slide is Washington Street access to transit improvements. So back in 2016, the council approved the Washington Street Commercial Corridor Plan. Some of you may remember this. This was designed to kind of enhance our downtown, or our Washington corridor that leads to our downtown. Through this, they identified a lot of areas that needed improvement. CMAQ is actually a funding source that we're utilizing. They focus on climate and air quality. So because we're taking a look at our infrastructure, our buses, our foot traffic, that's how we can help improve air quality by reducing idling cars, reducing increasing foot traffic, and reducing our vehicles. So part of the process with this is new bus shelters, updating bus paths so it's easier and friendlier for people to take public transit, as well as improving crosswalks and our ADA ramps, things like that that help improve people's access to Washington Street. Phase 1 was approved back in June 2024, and we're looking at construction probably starting in 2027, which is really exciting. So our report, again, is live on our website. If you look at the next slide, I've got a link up there. If you go to waukeganil.gov, it's on our environment and sustainability page. Again, I'll email it out to you guys all as well. We're looking forward to getting your support as we continue to make our city a little bit more sustainable. Again, looking at those 3 Ps, caring about our planet, caring about our people, and then caring about our financials as well. Happy to take any questions you might have.
Thank you so much for all the work you've done on this, Rachel. I really personally appreciate that. Does anybody have any questions for Rachel?
I just say I was very impressed, and I look forward to the Washington Street corridor, get that fixed up. But
That you do, since
very
it's
well
mostly
done,
your
very
word.
well done.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
just wanna-
Alderman Bolton?
Thank you. I just want to comment, I've been working close with you all, and of course, done a lot of great work in the first ward, and I just want to personally thank you.
Great, thank you. All right,
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Rachel.
thank you.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:37?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you.